Welcome back to the Jacked Racing YouTube channel. Welcome back to the shop. We're back from our weekend at New Smyrna Speedway that went super well and then all of a sudden did not go really well. We broke a steering line, lost all of our power steering fluid. We're going to bring the truck in here and look at it in just a little bit. But first I'm going to talk about something we really need to get fixed on this truck moving forward. Check out this garage floor. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there is fluid everywhere. This truck is leaking like no other right now. We got it coming out the rear end, we got it coming out the steering hoses in the front, we got fluid coming out everywhere on this truck. So that's one of our big goals. Now that we've kind of got it together where we don't have to keep tearing suspension apart every week, we're going to work on fixing some of these little nagging things that are just kind of annoying, like this weekly collection of fluid we have all over the ground here. So we're going to bring the truck in after I clean this stuff up, and then we'll look at what happened during the race last week. It's so slippery in this shop, I have to keep my Crocs in four-wheel drive just to make sure I don't fall down on the slippery floor. It's one of those things that I guess the old saying with race cars is if it's leaking fluid, that means it has fluid. So see, there's always a positive. We can't be the only racers that show up to the track with a super organized trailer and then come back to something like this, where all your stuff is basically just thrown in at the last minute after your race is over and you just want to get out of there. I am definitely going to have to organize this trailer a little bit. We didn't really have time to organize it since we bought the trailer pretty quick before we went racing. But now that I've got a couple of weeks before our next race, I really need to get this thing set up to where all the stuff that's going to stay in here can just have a home and be nicely organized. So that way at the track we can just put in the things we need to take in and out of the garage and not have to play this game of throwing things in the truck. My truck's a mess too. I threw about half the stuff in the back seat of my truck because I didn't know where to put it in the trailer. It's just a lot of organizing to do, but that's, I guess, a growing pain of a new trailer. Once it's organized, though, I think this is going to be super nice. I was really happy with how this trailer worked. The truck fits in here super well. My truck handled it well, towing it back and forth. I'm really glad we got this trailer situation sorted out, and I think with a little bit of work, we're going to really be able to make this trailer our own. Got the truck back in the garage now. Let me show you what went wrong and what ruined our feature the other night. It doesn't look like anything right now. The guys that helped me out at the track did a really awesome job jumping in and putting it back together. I'll show you why I couldn't run it though. So basically, I don't remember which one of these two it was. It was one of these two lines came out of the steering box right here. I think it might have been that one, and it ended up puking out all of the power steering fluid. As you can see, I have like none left. So they were able to put it back together, but I had no fluid. So basically it was cutting in and out on me. So I'd like go to turn, it would have power steering for a second, then it would cut out, then it would come back, which is just super dangerous to take out on the track. I absolutely did not want to be like flying into a turn and then have it cutting in and out on me, causing some violent wheel reaction. That would have put us in a way worse spot. So even though it sucked having to pull back in, you know, after one lap, I'm still happy that we only have to fix a steering problem instead of fixing a whole truck. We had actually already been planning on putting in a quicker steering box too. This one, as you've seen in some of my videos, I have to really put a lot of input into the wheel to get the truck to move. So we'd been talking about putting in a quicker box. Now seems like a good time to do that since this one's kind of causing some issues. This one's really sloppy too. We've been looking at it for a while and kind of decided that now is the time to do it. If we're already going to be taking steering stuff apart, we might as well just put a new box in. So now we get to do that thing where you wait a couple of days for parts to be able to put it back in. We have time though. Our next race isn't until April 30th at Citrus County Speedway. We're going quarter-mile racing again, so let's talk about what we have to do in the meantime for that. Obviously, we're going to fix the steering stuff. We're going to have to put our quarter-mile setup back on, which includes switching back to the American Racer tires. We got to up our cross weight a little bit. I'm excited to see what happens now that the front end's not bound up. I think we're going to handle so much better when we go back out to Citrus. And then the other thing that takes time is switching the chunk in the rear end. We got to put our quarter-mile gear back in. I wish we could use quick change rear ends, but I understand why we can't. It helps keep costs down and keeps them a little more stock, you know, give everyone a level playing field. So I understand. It's just a pain to have to switch the chunk back and forth between every race. They're heavy, they make a mess, and it just takes time. Whew, it's been a long week without being in the race shop. I know this video has taken a very long time to come out since our last race. Sorry about that, but life is just a little busy right now. this new work schedule I have is just really not working out with racing. So, you know, we're doing the best with what we can. I've got this weekend off for sure, so we are racing for sure this Saturday night at Citrus County Speedway. And I found a couple hours to come up here, get with the car, get some stuff ready to go. Dad's coming back in a couple of days too, so we're going to have the whole team back together. We're going to get everything we need to get ready for Citrus. We're going to make sure we are faster the next time, more prepared. Last time our weights were entirely screwed up. The front was all bound up. That's not going to happen this time. We're going to be ready to go, and we're going to be faster. I'm almost 99% positive. There's always that 1% weird chance something is going to happen, but I'm feeling very confident that we are going to be a lot faster this weekend. So let me show you some stuff that I'm working on today to help us get ready. We ended up getting some of these little steering plates here. You can see they go underneath the tire, and it allows us to actually be able to turn the wheel in the garage a lot easier. You see here, I can turn the wheel on that plate, and it helps us get some measurements, and we are going to try and put something a little quicker. And if you've seen the in-car videos, you see I am putting so much input into the wheel, and the truck's not turning any tighter than anyone else out there. So basically, I'm having to do more work to turn the truck, and it's making it so I'm a little bit, you know, out of control in there. I'm getting the wild hands behind the wheel. So if we can get something that's a little bit quicker and tighten that steering up, I'm going to be able to have a little more control over the steering, not have to put as much input into it, and hopefully just be a lot smoother and easier on me in the cab, because my shoulders have been sore a couple times after races, and it shouldn't really be like that. These things should help us with setup too. I'm sure there's going to be a lot we can learn from them. You know, the more we have these things, we're going to learn how to use them to the best of our advantage and help get this thing set up right. It's going to be nice to be able to go all the way through, you know, the steering motion, make sure we're not binding up on anything, making sure all this, the setup we have in it is working the way we want to. So it's just one more thing that's going to help us go a little bit faster. So this has nothing to do with actually going faster in the truck, but this is going to help improve our video quality a lot. I wasn't honestly very happy with how the last video came out. I know it got a lot of views, and it did pretty well compared to a lot of my other videos, but I just wasn't super happy with the quality of it. The in-car cameras were my biggest complaint. I am not a big fan of the in-car cameras I have. Admittedly, I didn't spend enough time getting them set up right, and it showed. So we're going to fix that this weekend. We're going to make sure we have good in-car videos for our race vlogs. And one thing I wanted to do, I've always loved those, the helmet cameras when they show on TV in the NASCAR races, where it's kind of like the camera's right here, a driver's point of view. And I'm going to hook something similar up to that. That way you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing in the truck. I think that's a super cool vantage point to see a race from, and it really, you know, kind of tells the story of what happened. So I'm going to get this set up here so we can have some helmet cameras inside the truck. I've got a couple of different ideas of where to put cameras elsewhere on the truck, because you know I always run 2 in-car cameras. So let me know in the comments here what you might want to see throughout the race weekend. I'm pretty much open to trying anything at this point. If it's going to make the video better and more enjoyable, I'll do it. We've been a little bit busy today. We're getting everything ready to go for Citrus this weekend. We've got the rear gears here that we're switching out. That's our new Smyrna gear in the box over there, and this is our quarter-mile gear right here. We've also been getting these tires set up. We went through all the tires we had to find which ones were going to be the best for this weekend. We're still trying to avoid buying new tires while we're learning. We think we found a set that only has like 1 race on it, so they should be good to go. And look who's back. Dad's back.
Hey everyone.
He got into town last night, so we're getting everything ready to go. Should be a fun weekend. We're going to be a lot faster.
Bring it close enough and I'll
You can get it positioned.
Okay.
Okay, tell me when you're ready for lift.
Little lift. Hold on a second.
You're not super stable on the jack there.
For some reason I can't tell how straight I am here or not. Alright, go a little more. Okay. Keep going. A little more. A little more. One more. Go back towards you a little bit. Okay, hold on. Might need to go down a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, hold. Hold on. My light is not great this time.
Does that help?
That helps. Okay. Okay, I'm on.
That's it?
Yep.
That wasn't so bad. You can take the jack out.
Drop it and get out.
Doing these rear gear swaps is like kind of not ideal. Unfortunately, our schedule keeps making us ping pong back and forth between quarter and halves. We were hoping we'd get like 3 weeks of quarters and a week a half. You know, we kind of get a little bit more consistency with the gear, but that's okay. It's part of it. I wish we had a quick change, but I understand why they don't want to put quick changes in. They're trying to keep this a relatively affordable class, and when you start adding, you know, more expensive parts like that, it kind of loses that. So I understand it. I just wish these things didn't weigh so much and they were a little easier to do. It's tough to do by yourself. Good thing Dad got here just in time. I would have had to borrow a friend or something to come up and do it, but it's all good. It's just part of it. One other thing we can do to help us maybe get just that little bit of extra speed we need is to adjust our rev limiter here. You can see this truck has the dial style rev limiter, and we just looked at it and we actually have it set 100 RPMs too low, so we can raise it up to 6,300 from 62. That might give us just a little bit more power going down the straightaway. We also put some new reflective tape on our trailer here, cleaned it up, made it look nice. We made it look a little nicer. And I got to show some love to our tow truck here. We got that nice and cleaned up. It's looking sharp, making sure everything is well taken care of. So now we just got to figure out which one of these tires are going to be our best bet. Get them mounted up, fill the fluid in the rear end, and once the steering's done, we're ready to go. So thank you for checking out this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you this weekend from Citrus County Speedway.